Hello everyone, welcome back to Prepping Essentials. Thought I'd do a short video as the winter season is now finally upon us and Christmas is rapidly approaching. So I guess most of you guys will be out prepping for Christmas, organising the tree, the turkey or Christmas presents. So I thought it's an apt time to highlight a few other things that you might want to consider adding to your prepping to-do list for the winter season. We're calling these the 12 preps of Christmas, and in no particular order, here we go. This time of the year, you'll definitely be doing more journeys, out and about, visiting families and friends, shopping, whatever. So number one, allow plenty of time for your journey. Don't rush. Set off early and make sure that you're checking the news or checking the route planner on your sat-nav for any disruption or congestion on the planned route and for weather conditions. Number two, if you use a sat-nav, it's worth reminding you that these systems can frequently go wrong. They do send people up incorrect roads or indeed into fields or even rivers. Also be aware if you're planning long journeys, the connection for the sat-nav or your mobile phone, whichever you're using, could drop in and out as you're driving along, and it's bound to do it when you're in an area that you don't know very well. So top tip, it's worth having the good old-fashioned printed atlas in the car with you in case the sat-nav does go wrong. Number three, don't forget to make sure that you've got enough fuel for the journey before you set off. Don't rely on fueling mid-journey. It's not unusual this time of the year for petrol stations to be out of fuel. You never know when a routine journey might take longer than expected because of congestion or road closures due to bad weather, or you might not know when an unexpected emergency needs you to use your vehicle and you forgot to fuel up. So make sure you've got plenty of fuel in the car at all times. It's also worthwhile keeping a can stored somewhere at the home in case of emergency. Number four, keep up to date with servicing your vehicle. Just take the time to check common things such as tyre pressures, your oil, coolant, windscreen washer fluid levels, and don't forget the antifreeze at this time of year. Make sure your windscreen wipers and light bulbs are working correctly. Number five, every vehicle should carry some equipment with it at all times. Now, much of this will depend on the type of vehicle you've got, but it's fairly common to include a small toolkit, the spare wheel, and don't forget the jack and wheel brace to go with that. Something I find useful is these emergency puncture repair kits you can get. It's an aerosol canister, and essentially you get a puncture at the side of the road. There's a little nozzle, you screw it into the tyre valve, press the button, air and sealant go into the tyre, puts it back up again and seals the gap long enough for you to get yourself back home or to get yourself to a garage to get it repaired properly. Other things you might want to consider: foot pump or compressor for putting air in the tyres, jumper cables in case the battery's flat, and some spare light bulbs. Wintertime, it's always a good idea to make sure that you've got windscreen de-icer and a windscreen scraper in the car, and for sure, wintertime, you need some warm clothing and probably a shovel also in the car. Number six, fires. This time of year, fires do go up in levels of frequency. People are using a lot more candles than they would normally. They're plugging in decorative lighting. They've got combustible material in the home, so presents, decorations, Christmas trees, etc. So it makes good sense. Take precautions. Smoke alarms should be installed in the house, and be very careful when you're using candles or other naked flames, and be careful not to overload the electrical circuits when you're installing all of this decorative lighting around the house. Before you go to bed at night, make sure you put out candles, switch off the decorative lighting, and do a quick safety check for anything else that could be a fire hazard before you go off to bed. Medical emergencies. First aid type incidents happen all times of year. This time of year, it's wise to make sure that your first aid is topped up, Remember that shops will be closed over the Christmas holidays and you won't be able to just pop out and get some medical supplies if you need them. Similarly, if any family members have long-term dependencies on prescription medication, it's worth stocking up on those ahead of the holidays. Again, the pharmacy may be shut for the Christmas holidays, or bad weather could cause disruption to supplies. Number 8. Remember that Christmas is not the time of goodwill to all men. There are some bad men out there as well. Burglaries of houses do increase during the Christmas period. This is because burglars know that most houses will have lots of gifts lying under the Christmas tree. So be sure to check all doors and windows before you go out or before going to bed at night. And be moderate when you're drinking outside the home so that you don't leave yourself vulnerable on the way back home again. Number 9. Water. This time of year, freezing temperatures, you can get burst pipes, and the pipes don't necessarily have to be at your house in order to lose your water supply. So it's worth just checking your basic preps, make sure you've got stocks of water on hand in the house, at least to last you a few days. Supermarkets can get your bottled water in bulk fairly cheaply, or get some large volume containers and just fill them up from the taps at home. Number 10. Lighting. Again, Christmas time, bad weather, power lines do come down quite frequently, and it's not unusual for houses or towns to be without power for a few hours or indeed for a few days, depends on what the problem is. So make sure you've got some emergency lighting in the house, candles, be careful with the flames of course, and torches with spare batteries. 11. Heating. Again, power goes out, you could lose heating, unless of course you're one of the lucky ones that's got a wood stove or an oil-fired heating supply or an open hearth fire. Take a look at what you've got in terms of heating, and if you're totally dependent on mains gas or electric, it's worth investing in a little portable gas heater for you. Again, as with any of this naked flame stuff, be careful and make sure it's off before you go to bed. And then finally, number 12, food. Christmas is, after all about food. We all like the Christmas dinners, but bear in mind, bad weather, supplies back into the supermarkets could be affected if we get a lot of heavy snow and it blocks the road. So, as with all preps, make sure to check your stores of food in the house and make sure that you've got ample to see you through the Christmas period, should there be any disruption to supply. Okay, well that's 12 Preps Christmas. Wish you all a very Merry Christmas, just in case I don't get another video out in time, and hope to see you back again sometime soon. If you like the video, click on the like button, and again, subscribe so you can find your way back, and you can keep informed of videos as and when we upload the new ones to the channel. Have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year, guys.